Hey, yo, Swab.
Yo.
It's turkey time, man.
Is it?
And not just turkey time. It's tournament time.
Turkey and tournament.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what a better way to spend your holiday break than with Gangrene, your favorite player partners on the Pro Wrestling and Podcast tip, infused with hip hop, of course. The Broken Pencil BC.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Looks on the drop into your early, Black Friday stocking. Possibly if you're standing outside in the cold trying to brave the elements to get into somebody's department store to blow some money on a fifth TV for the house. This will help you get through, that it'll just help the wait time just pass real smooth.
Just remember, you get what you pay for. And on that note, this is about the only thing that's free that's going to be worth your time on Black Friday. The BPBC Gangrene in your building. Suave.
Yeah.
We promised the people a few episodes ago.
Yeah, we did.
That we're going to give them a little special to go with this tournament.
So
that's coming up after. A little spice, if you will.
For those of you who have the syringes that inject your turkey with extra flavor in between the breastplates, you know what we're talking about.
A little butter, little garlic.
The butters.
Get the butters. Yo, we gonna do this one time for a championship that has been lost and has since come back into play as something that we may see in the very near future.
That's
what am I talking about?
Having like extra wishful thinking and some nostalgic delusions of grandeur.
Well, considering that we're embarking on what could be NXT Europe, UK has gone away. Let's go ahead and do some foreshadowing, if you will. And put a little history in your step. For this Black Friday swab, we're going to hit them with the Euro GOAT, the European Championship, the best European champion of all time.
The Euro Step Tournament.
The 1-2.
Yeah. No crab dribble included. Yeah. Euro Step. Wham, wham to the glass.
Out of the total 27 European champions that have been across our path in the past, in the exception of the actual title, dating from as far back as 1997.
Don't make it sound that far away. Jeez, take it easy.
Up to and including 2002.
Facts.
Had a nice 5-year run. We had 37 reigns, 27 champions. We took the best 16. Kind of like a cameo on a rap song. We take the best 16 and we're giving our best foot forward. So if you got a problem, fight your mama. But if you want to talk to us, show at brokenpencilbc.com, brokenpencilbc@gmail.com on all things social. That's at brokenpencilbc on what?
Everything.
With no further ado, I guess it would be helpful if I took the time to share this with my guy. So as I'm loading this up, I'm going to send this to you, my good man.
I got this hen in my cup, and
as I'm in the middle of nowhere, Pacific Technology pays attention to us.
All right, tournament.
Look
bracket.
at that! Look at that! 3 megs per second for the win.
Bracketology. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
All right. Sweet 16 in the first round. We just put 16 of our favorites in this hopper and randomized it. Those seeding No rhyme or reason.
No, see, wait. It's not just our favorites. We looked at this list and looked at these reigns, and there are a couple of these title reigns and subsequent champions, holders of those title reigns, that do not meet the criteria for tournament play.
Oh,
they just don't. If you had a reign that lasted less than 3 weeks, you weren't gonna make the cut.
Get out of there.
Transitional champions do not make the cut. Now, please understand, because we do things in decency and in order and with integrity here at the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast and radio show infused with hip hop, we are taking into consideration the title reign only, not the career resume, because we do know there are some champions, there are some Hall of Famers that make up this list of champions. We are not taking their total body of work into consideration when deciding who advances. We are taking into consideration the body of work as the European champion.
Okay. All right. I like it.
It's just, you gotta do things on the up and up, because people have questions that, hey, we answer that in the syllabus. Just need y'all to just stay on the same page with us. European champion. How great of a European champion were they? How much did the title reign matter? What did they do to elevate the championship? Did they prop the belt up? The belt propped them up. All different stuff. And then, yes, our favorites will come into play at some, but it's our show. Get you one, and then we'll listen to you. Maybe.
That's a big maybe.
Huge.
So with that being said, let's go ahead and run this around the first round matchup here, if you will.
Run the play.
All right, in the first round, first matchup, Lord William Regal, a man's man,
he's
taking on
man. Such a man. Yeah, straight like that.
Taking on one of the Radicals, Perry Saturn,
former Army Ranger.
I almost said Suave, who ain't gonna win.
I mean, it's apropos here. I mean, we could, yes, the energy is very much the same. I mentioned, Perry Saturn being an Army Ranger. So for two reasons. One, I could thank him for his service. And two, I could thank him for showing up. William Regal advances.
Plain and simple.
Quick and easy. No disrespect,
because you know if nothing else, Regal was going to not just show up, but he was going to do damage.
There's a fun fact about William Regal and the European Championship that we'll reveal as we get closer to the end of this.
Oh, okay. Regal advances in the next round. Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero,
Eduardo
taking on Matthew Hardy.
I'm your father, Dominique.
I think for the degree of the character that was Eddie Guerrero and where Matt Hardy was at that time, Matt Hardy, thank you for playing. It's been real, but you, sir, even though you had a very, very worthy reign, you're not beating Eddie Guerrero. I got Eddie Guerrero advancing. What you got, Suave?
I got Eddie Guerrero because, let's just be real about it. Latino Heat is born within the midst of Eddie Guerrero's multiple European Championship reigns. That's the phase that really turned the corner that got him to being a undisputed champion. So I know as we said we weren't gonna take the entire career resume into account when choosing. However, when that title reign is part of the catalyst that makes you an even bigger star, again, what did you do for the title? What did the title do for you? Eddie Guerrero advances.
And Eddie definitely put some stank on that title, bro.
These is facts.
All right. Coming up, Val Venus versus D'Lo Brown. Arguably one of, if not the greatest European champion of all time in D'Lo Brown. Not cap.
I'm just going to keep it real. In real life head-to-head competition at SummerSlam 98, available on the cock, D'Lo Brown beat Val Venus. I see our tournament going no different. I'm taking D'Lo Brown for the win.
D'Lo Brown advances that easy. HBK versus Kurt Angle.
Ooh.
Now, mind you, this is European champion HBK versus European champion Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle was very, very young and very, very astute for his age in the game at this time. Shawn Michaels was just back from losing his smile.
This is prime HBK. This is the Shawn Michaels that Tommaso Ciampa always refers to very fondly. 1997 HBK, which means we are somewhere in between. Yes, he's back from losing his smile, and he is flashing the Turkish mafia sign to his buddies in Georgia. But this is also like DX, and this is like in the midst of, some very rampant drug abuse, which, always makes for a good time. Of course, I'm saying this facetiously. This is not real. Use responsibly if you're going to do anything.
And he won the belt in England, which adds injury to insult.
That's the part I was getting to. It's about who he beat, where he beat them, and what it meant for Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels winning the European Championship at One Night Stand overseas in the UK made him WWE's first ever Grand Slam champion.
And he defeated the British Bulldog while they were in the heat of the DX versus Hart Foundation feud.
Right, because this is the very beginning of DX. So Rick Rude is still around with the gang. Chyna's there. Triple H is there. It's still very new. You're still trying to figure out how the hell Triple H and Shawn Michaels are even friends. Because kayfabe, it was still real to me, damn it.
Right. Yeah, and so, it was definitely, this reign was definitely more impactful. Kurt Angle had a good reign, almost 2 months long, but just the levels to the story behind HBK winning it, even him going into England, taking it, and who he lost to.
Right. And then taking into account, this is part of one of the greater rookie seasons in all of pro wrestling. Like, Kurt Angle had a phenomenal rookie year, and being European champion was a part of it, but it's not the climax. It's not the highest point of his rookie year. While it's not the lowest point of his rookie year, I am under the belief that it doesn't have the same impact as what Shawn Michaels' one reign means.
Shawn Michaels' win and Shawn Michaels' loss pales in. It's a high star in the sky of that championship compared to Angle's entire run as champion.
Factuals.
So I will say, for that reason alone, HBK advances.
I'm with you. Run it.
All right. Test versus Owen Hart.
Now, on the surface, somebody might look at this and say this isn't even a conversation. However, in terms of European Championship lore, Test has one reign totaling 69 days.
Giggity.
Owen Hart has one reign totaling 55 days. So now we got to get down to the brass tacks. We got to figure out who, what, why.
Okay. There were two 4-time European champions. One of them was D'Lo Brown. The other one was William Regal.
Gave that fun fact away way too early, but yes,
Sorry,
you're absolutely correct.
I brought it up because Test defeated William Regal to get that belt.
Okay, that's a gold star for him. So Owen Hart ends up winning this his one and only European Championship reign by beating Goldust, who was dressed as Triple H. Commissioner Sergeant Slaughter awarded the title to Hart, considering Goldust as a substitution for Triple H. So this is all part of the Hart Foundation DX beefing back and forth. It's a product of that. So I'm gonna take a knee to the storyline. I'm gonna say storyline made for a more impactful championship win and possibly reign. I'm gonna go Owen Hart.
That is the only differentiator. Who he beat easily goes to Test. Test definitely gets the bigger notch on the belt, the bigger head on the wall, if you will.
As for storyline, as far as European champions are concerned, yes, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, but as far as impact to the storyline, impact to the belt, Owen Hart advances.
Did you prop the belt up, or did the belt prop you up?
And don't get me wrong, the late great Test actually did that championship some justice.
That's fantastic.
Good one there. Good one there.
Yeah. Good sound logic applied.
Here's a very interesting one here, broken pencil logic, if you will. Next up, we have Rob Van Dam versus the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
This is tough. Each man has one reign. Each of these reigns are unique for different reasons. So let's look at Mark Henry. So it's weird because you don't see this happen very often. Mark Henry's title reign is due to Jeff Jarrett gifting the title to Mark Henry for assisting him in defeating D'Lo Brown at SummerSlam of 1999. People remember that huge turn. People remember that.
It was Mark Henry turning on his at the time best friend.
Yeah, he sold on the bros. And then to have the title gifted, like the only other time I can think of off the top of my head of a title being gifted or awarded is when Big Gold came back for Triple H. Like Eric Bischoff simply assigned a title to Raw because you just lost your champion to SmackDown.
I still feel some kind of way about that, but yeah, absolutely.
You really only feel some type of way about it because of the belt that was given.
This is absolutely true because they didn't even put any respect on it. They just called it the World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, what else are you going to call it? That's all it was ever called. The World Heavyweight Championship. Flair is who put all the extra pizzazz on the belt and what it was recognized as and how much it cost, how much of the deposit was, and any of that other type of stuff. But then we have Rob Van Dam, the very last European champion. But it wasn't his last title reign because he parlayed that by unifying the European Championship with the Intercontinental Championship by defeating Jeff Hardy.
Yeah. So the biggest thing about Van Dam's reign is that he's the last. He is the last one, and it is.
And he won it virtually at home too, which was rare.
Yeah. So there's the home field victory, which almost no one wins at home. Even though he's from Battle Creek, Michigan, how far could Grand Rapids be away?
A couple hours.
See, but still close enough that you could drive it without getting in the room. Home field advantage win.
I bet he drove it high.
Could say he flew in high, but either or.
Hey yo.
Hey, you flew in, grew in, however you do it. But Van Dam gets the hometown win. He's the last European champion, and he is merging it with the Intercontinental Championship. So RVD for my money. Who you got?
I'm actually right there with you. RVD. Even though I like the storyline, I don't think that did anything for the title because it ended up going right back to D'Lo.
Yeah, the title ends up being a prop in part of a storyline. Like, you could have had that turn, it could have been just as impactful, and things would have continued to go forward with or without the European Championship. You don't get very many title unifications when it comes to Stanford.
And Jeff Jarrett just handing it over makes the title seem meaningless when he gives it to D'Lo's best friend. That's just a slap in the face of D'Lo. And D'Lo actually cares about the title.
It's just super unsavory. It just leaves a bad taste in a real fan's mouth when you're out here just giving titles away.
I mean, it's heel shit though. But you're winners.
It is, but these are championships.
And your winner advancing to the next round, RVD. We got another barn burner here.
I was just another barn burner here. Music. Yo, another barn burner. Interclick beef. X-Pac versus Triple H.
Man, oh boy. This was for X-Pac. He had a little back and forth with D'Lo that lasted over about a month. Lasted for about a month, going back and forth. But when X-Pac actually got the belt back from D'Lo the second time, he held on to that bitch for about 4 months. Meanwhile, Triple H, Interclick Beef, defeats Shawn Michaels for this.
That wasn't even really beef. That was like the original finger poke of doom.
which escalated the beef between DX and Commissioner Slaughter at the time.
Right. I believe this was on a Christmas episode of Raw, like when they were still doing like Hammerstein ballroom type venues.
Yep, it was tape delayed. Yep.
Yeah, tape delay in a smaller venue. They beefing with Sarge. Christmas episodes back then were really, really different from what you get now. And then, like I also say, is just this is the precursor to the finger poke of doom. WCW tried this. Well, they didn't just try it; they succeeded with it 2 years later,
which was also the reason for WCW's demise. Not this finger poke of doom, but their finger poke of doom was. So, storyline wise, Triple H, Shawn Michaels going at it at the behest of Commissioner Slaughter, while still in the middle of a DX Heart Foundation beef versus just X-Pac and D'Lo going back and forth. I got Triple H on this one.
I think I got Trips too. I don't remember too much from X-Pac's reigns as European champion, other than it's just like DX is over, so put this belt on somebody in the group.
And it looks like the only reason Triple H got the belt back was it was supposed to happen at WrestleMania in '98, but Owen Hart got injured, so he ended up getting it sooner. Meanwhile, the person to defeat Triple H for it once again, D'Lo Brown. So impact wise, goes to Triple H. Triple H for the win.
That's a good point you just made. You make sure you put a pin in that for later. That'll be useful in the later rounds.
Okay. And in our final matchup in the first round, your very first European champion, Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, versus Shane or Gregory, depending on which organization you're in, Hurricane Helms.
I think you buried the lead. The first European champion, I don't see how we have the first go out in the first round.
Hurricane has been real. I think a storm's coming through. Yeah. And there's our first round.
Hopefully you took shelter. Yeah, round 2.
Time for the quarterfinals.
You got it from here on out, boss.
All right, man. Regal versus Eddie Guerrero.
Ooh. Regal because of the number of reigns.
Absolutely. There is no question on that. Eddie Guerrero, he had a good showing, but there's no way you're competing against 4 reigns. D'Lo Brown versus HBK in the second round. Golly.
For everything we said about why this was so important for Shawn Michaels, it is even more important for D'Lo, and I feel like D'Lo contributed more to the actual title meaning something. Shawn Michaels' 1 reign is a total of 82 days. D'Lo Brown almost eclipsed that on his first reign.
Absolutely.
And we're dealing with a situation where D'Lo successfully defended that title on pay-per-view. I don't remember Shawn Michaels ever actually defending the title. Now I know that can't be right. Like, he has to have defended it before he lost it, but I do not remember him defending it on any sort of regular basis. And
no, the only defense that he had was the finger poke of dismay, if you will. Not even doom, the finger poke of dismay.
Damn, because it's like 3 months later. So yeah, there are no title defenses other than the one he lost it with, and it's like
and actually, you know what? Now I think about it, wasn't that part of the storyline that he wasn't defending the title?
Yes.
Which is why Sergeant Slaughter put him up against Triple H.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, actual factuals. There you go. So Circle wins the square. D'Lo advances.
Owen versus RVD.
RVD.
Same. Last champion, impactful, and unifies.
Right.
What wasn't easy, but it was an easy decision to make. Right. Triple H versus the British Bulldog.
British Bulldog.
You can't. It's hard to knock out the first.
It is. I mean, he is the champion of Europe.
Now, here's what's crazy. Going into the semifinals, here's what your matchups look like. Both of your 4-time European champions going head up versus your first and your last.
Wow. That like, look, I know we say you can't write this kind of often, and we really be handling business as far as like how we make stuff play out. This was not planned.
This could be a tag team match to set up a quick tournament to determine the greatest of all time in real life.
Like a tag team match to set up the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
All right, run it. Here we go. This is where we are.
All right. Regal versus D'Lo Brown.
D'Lo.
I think we got
it's chest protector gang.
I think we got better wrestling matches out of Regal because he was stretching the shit out of people. We had matches versus the Unmentionable during this reign, but we also got D'Lo Brown, who made the chest protector a household name.
Right.
His frog splash.
Trademarked language, matter of fact.
Oh man. There was so many things about the charisma of D'Lo Brown that shined out during this reign. It actually made that title worth wanting to fight for. I got D'Lo.
That sounds about right. I got D'Lo Brown too. Like, of course, nothing but respect for William Regal and all of his contributions. I'm trying to remember like the signature moments of European title reign from Regal. I'm certain if we were to put together a mixtape to go back and watch, it'd be incredibly entertaining. But again, there's not that one signature moment, one signature match. If nothing else, D'Lo Brown has a SummerSlam successful title defense under his belt.
No doubt. And Regal, Regal defeated Al Snow. He defeated Crash Holly, who also lost to Crash Holly. Regal defeated DDP. Regal defeated Spike Dudley.
Okay, so so D'Lo beat Triple H.
He beat Triple H. He beat X-Pac. He beat
so
Midian.
Two members
and he
of
beat
DX.
Mark Henry.
So yeah, 2 members of DX, Midian, your homeboy, and early in the tournament, he beat Shawn Michaels. He's beaten 3/5 of the clique.
And he didn't beat Shawn Michaels. He beat
him in the last round. He beat him in the last round.
Oh,
you gotta stick with me. Don't let the turkey take over.
No tripping fan, cuz.
For real, you done dip one of them sticks in the Hennessy Pure White, and it's all done went to hell.
Watch out now. And then also we can't forget he defeated Mark Henry too.
Yeah, so you done beat the homies. You done beat 3/5 of the clique.
You beat the homies.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like D'Lo for the win.
All right, and then for the second semifinal to advance to the finals, Rob Van Dam, your last champion, versus the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith, your first champion.
Ooh. Okay.
Easy.
So,
it's easy for me.
I'm looking. I just had to make sure about something. Okay, 100% is the British Bulldog.
Yeah, six months as champion.
Yeah, like the longest reign looks like ever. Looks like the longest consecutive reign in recorded history. That's a major.
And back in that time, you're defending that belt because
weekly.
That's your TV title.
Weekly.
All right. So for your finals, we have D'Lo Brown, 4-time European champion, versus
tied for the most ever.
Versus your very first European champion, the man with the most or the longest reign in European title history, Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog.
Most reigns versus longest reign. Let me hear what you think about this. I'm still mulling it over.
We've already said it in the last round. You defeat 3/5 of the clique and 2 of your homeboys. The storyline and the impact of all of that is far more overshadowing than a 206-day reign. In fact, if we combine the reigns of D'Lo Brown, even though D'Lo only held the belt for a recognized 126 days, those 126 days were more impactful because of who he defeated for those title reigns than British Bulldog's 2 title reigns totaling 249. I got D'Lo Brown.
That is some pretty sound broken pencil logic. I'm gonna say D'Lo, but there is a fun fact that somebody's gonna bring up if we don't mention it. So there's one head-to-head meeting for the championship that I'm aware of, and the British Bulldog came out victorious from that.
That was season 1, I believe it was week 3 of SmackDown. It was very early.
It's 1999, so that might be season 1.
Right. Well, I was on season 1, week 3. I think it was like the third 3. Episode. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah. And it's on a tape delay.
Yeah. I don't get me, like, don't quote me on this, but I'm almost positive that was like the 3rd week SmackDown was on the air. But either way, it was still very early, and they had a title change on TV, which was pretty unheard of for a new show to have like a significant title change on television. And it happened to be at the hands of the British Bulldog. But at the same time, he lost to Val Venus, which was a triple threat match that also involved D'Lo Brown. Fun fact there.
That's a fantastic fun fact. The more I think about it, it's D'Lo.
D'Lo for the win. You're a winner and your greatest European champion of all time, D'Lo Brown. Speaking of D'Lo Brown, go ahead.
I was say, do you realize this is the first tournament we've ever gone through from start to finish, and we didn't disagree about one matchup?
It's kind of hard to when the facts are right here. Like, and that's an era that we both lived through.
This is true. Yeah.
And it wasn't a trash title because they gave us quality matches and quality champions. It was only towards the end where they started hot potato in the belt between people who didn't matter. But the first, we'll say 3-4 years of that title, HBK competed for it. Triple H competed for it. Like, these are people who have headlined WrestleMania after WrestleMania after WrestleMania.
For the short amount of time that it existed, there's obviously ebbs and flows and title reigns, but there's always a stretch of a champion elevating the title and making it at least matter. Obviously, D'Lo contributes heavily to that. The British Bulldog, heavy contributor. Shawn Michaels, heavy contributor, just in name value alone. William Regal in match quality. I want to say we're gonna have to check this. We're gonna have to do our Googles, but I think when the Hurricane got his Monday Night Raw fluke victory over The Rock, I think he was either European champion at the time or on his way to being European champion.
I'm going to run down a list here real quick. British Bulldog, Triple H. I'm sorry, I can't count Triple H just yet. I'm jumping the gun there. Eddie Guerrero, X-Pac, Shawn Michaels. Actually, no. Shawn Michaels, yeah, for sure. Owen Hart, Kurt Angle, Diamond Dallas Page, Mark Henry, JBL, Jeff Jarrett, Rob Van Dam. That's 11 Hall of Famers out of 27 title holders for this belt.
And if we're looking at the list, how many more you think we got?
Easy. One, well, I'll just name them. William Regal, Triple H, D'Lo Brown.
Tripp's already in. Well, not as a solo.
Right. I also kind of X-Pac that way too. So I make that 12.
So you're gonna have some double Hall of Famers involved with this.
Yep, indeed. So Regal, D'Lo, Matt Hardy, Christian Cage or Christian.
Yeah, he's in.
I don't know if Test is going to go in or not. I'm on the fence about that one.
I don't know about that one. I don't know. It's hard
I
to
don't
say.
think Val Venus is going in. I don't think Hurricane's going in. And no disrespect to them, I just don't see it.
You don't think Hurricane going in?
Nah.
I look at Val Venus and Hurricane as like they're stalwarts for the era that they were in, and because of that, at some point you're gonna run low on inductees. So I feel like they may get in on the back end because of that.
There's a couple of different factors I'm looking at too. So, of course, career impact as a character, but also location for WrestleMania near their home. Val Venus is from Canada, Hurricane's from North Carolina. Chances of either one of those happening are going to be slim to none.
I mean, you could say that, but look at it like this. If the Hardys are going to go in at any point,
he'll probably induct them.
He may induct them, but I mean, we do know we live in a political world. What if the Hardys just say, okay, we'll do your Hall of Fame, but you're going to have to induct the Hurricane too?
That could very well be the case.
And I mean,
so let's split the difference. Let's split the difference. If gun to my head, if I got to pick one, I'm going to go with Hurricane. So let's run it back then. Regal, Al Snow.
Yes, absolutely.
Hardy.
So
Shane, Shane O'Mac.
You put both Hardys in a hurricane together, they're like Hardy Har. Because he's almost.
Oh, you are hilarious. Shane O'Mac, yay or nay?
Get serious. His name is on the checks.
Shane O'Mac.
He'll go in whenever he gets ready, and it's more or less about ego. Like Vince probably will not go in while he's on this side of the earth. Just because, he doesn't like to be mentioned, that's just not his thing. Could be a similar situation for Shane, or Shane could be like, fuck you, give me my flowers.
All right. Perry Saturn.
I want
to side with. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I was thinking about just his WWE career. His WWE run, probably not.
His ECW run, he should for sure. And we've seen people go in for their other runs versus their WWE runs, a la Sting.
And you do have a WrestleMania coming up in Philadelphia.
I'll put Saturn on there. Midian,
I'd be willing to. And the other thing that may get him in is, the one thing that may get him in, but also might keep him out, is being a member of the Radicals. Because there's two people you don't want to talk about, and one person you do.
Yeah,
you're the guy in the middle.
I still think Saturn goes, especially if we're talking about Philadelphia. I still think Saturn goes. Midian's a hell no.
You think?
Yeah,
Tex Slashinger and Shanghai Pierce.
Yep, I think that's a no. That you might as well induct the Beverly. You might as well induct the Beverly Brothers. I
mean, one of their kids is working in NXT. Like
Wayne Bloom and Mike Enos did more for Herb Abrams than they did for Vince McMahon and Eric Bischoff combined.
But they are memorable characters from a memorable era.
I'm still saying no.
That's like saying the Bushwhackers can't get in the Hall of Fame.
Wait, they're not?
No, but I'm saying that's the equivalent of saying the Bushwhackers can't get in the Hall of Fame. You might want to check, because I don't know for sure. I think they are.
Yeah,
or like the Orient Express. Like if Kato and Tanaka couldn't get in the fucking Hall of Fame.
I mean, hell, Tanaka should be in just off of his work with Diamond Dallas Page in the AWA, but that's another conversation too.
Marty Jannetty's the only reason the Rockers are not in the Hall of Fame. Shawn Michaels could be a triple Hall of Famer if it wasn't for Marty Jannetty.
Hey, but he's a Hall of Famer in my heart for what he does outside the ring. Alleged murder charge aside.
Right. Shout out to Jimmy Snuka.
Let's see who else. Spike Dudley. Yeah, I think that balloon was off the rose. If he was going to go in, it would have been before now. Crash Holly, I don't think so. And Jericho definitely will be, unfortunately.
Spike Dudley is another one of those you might want to put a pin in if they're trying to make an impression in Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia could be a heavy ECW class.
If they're smart, I think they should do that. But okay, so let's back up.
Look at who's in charge now. Like, all right.
Let's back up then. So here's another conversation for you before we go ahead and go into this goodness. Name 5 that you put in Philadelphia, and I will start with number 1. And this is going to shock you that I'm going to say this, but it's only because of the timing that I say that happens. Okay. Number 1 going into Philadelphia is New Jack.
I'll say this on the show. If we find out New Jack is an inductee for the Hall of Fame, we're going.
Watch out for my drip. That's all I'm telling you.
And look, we're gonna be draped up and dripped out, but we're also gonna be acting as security for Jen Jack. Oh, we would all have smoked that weekend. We turned.
The beard is going to be so lusciously
gray.
Oh
my God, it's going to be so many juices and berries. Like my fade game is going to be so crispy. Like I'm really going to spend some money on my attire.
Mega Ran, you're on notice. Just know we're coming. You're chaperoning us. That's your hometown.
Facts. Actual factuals. Mega Ran is in charge of chaperoning us throughout Philadelphia the entire time that we're there.
And I don't eat beef, but I need a greasy ass cheesesteak while I'm there.
All rules.
Give me 2 through 5, just because. Oh, you said Spike Dudley. Give me 3 through 5.
I said Spike Dudley has a chance. Now, if we're just talking about draft picks out of ECW.
For WrestleMania in Philadelphia.
Okay, so first of all, I have to approach this list like the new regime and not like the old regime might.
Yes.
So this one is going to be super controversial, but I feel like everybody can come to the table to make it happen. Taz.
Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Taz. Here's one I would choose, but I don't think he's going to go into the Hall of Fame while he's still active on television. Paul Heyman.
That kind of goes without saying, but I'm absolutely with you.
There's another one
he's in rarefied air, I think they dropped the ball with how they inducted Undertaker. How they let him do his speech is one thing, but the fact that they didn't let him go in by himself was a complete dropping of the ball. Heyman's in that class. Go ahead. Well,
yeah, that's that throwback. That's the thing where, like, if Trips had been in charge, that probably would have played better. But then it becomes a money conversation because it's like, okay, well, I'll take it back because that happened after a SmackDown. That's not even a money conversation. If it was just the Undertaker being inducted after a SmackDown, that actually would have been perfect. So yeah, you're absolutely right. They fucked that up. Had this one not been coming off of probation, I would have definitely said he was a shoo-in. Tommy Dreamer.
Yeesh. Yeah, that overdue, but at the same time, he pushed it back. He pushed his own goalpost back.
He may have pushed his goalpost clearing out of the stadium.
But we are a year and a half away from that happening, so it remains to be seen how good it could be. We got one more.
I will absolutely take Heyman and Dreamer out. Heyman because I don't think he'll let himself be inducted. Dreamer because I don't believe it'll happen.
All right, so now we're back to needing 2 more.
Give me Sabu.
The homicidal, genocidal, suicidal.
Yes, give me Sabu.
You know what raises a red flag for Sabu for me?
What?
Will he show up?
I mean, look, it's a free check. It's a nice ring. It's an opportunity to have your praises sung.
And you don't have to go through a table, nor do you have to bleed.
I think he should. Not necessarily bleed. You don't want to bleed on the tux. But I think like one last time, he should put somebody through a table.
Or do that top rope dive where he looks like he's like in a basket being dropped from the sky.
No Arabian facebusters. No triple jump moonsaults. No Arabian facebusters. We just need an OG moonsault through a table, and Rob Van Dam can help. But no.
In what way?
He can help with the before and after care. He can make sure that Sabu is in the right frame of mind to try that, and then he also can help with pain management afterwards.
And I need Fonzie and RVD to induct them. Who else?
Fonzie. Oh, glad you said it. Bill Alfonso. Now that one's damn near. Yeah, Fonzie got new teeth. Fonzie out here living his best life. So I feel like Bill Alfonso is a shoe-in. So unless he got some dirt, dirt on his name that I don't know about, yes.
So when he flosses his teeth, it's safe to say that he does it right down the middle, Daddy.
Facts.
All right. So bring it home. We got Jack, Taz, Sabu, Fonzie. Who's the last one?
Raven.
Ooh.
Raven.
So Raven, I believe he just went in, or I think he just went in the Impact's Hall of Fame.
Now these are all super okay. In Raven's case, because he's been touted throughout the wrestling community as incredibly intelligent. So Raven is the type of person you want to be really careful when giving them a live microphone. Sabu, because of his I don't give a fuck, is a very sketchy person to give a live microphone.
Well, we've had two extremely sketchy people get live microphones and actually do okay with it. One of them warned you beforehand. Jim Cornette. Cornette's the first one. I'm Jim Cornette, and this is a live microphone. That's how he started his speech.
Yeah. I think he knew he was just going to put everybody on edge.
I remember he's intelligent enough to know not to do that, but I was driving and I remember specifically pulling over just to hear his speech.
To watch his acceptance speech.
Oh man. I had me a poke bowl just so I could watch his speech.
Oh, that's real baller. Flex on him real quick. Who else? Who am I missing that could go?
Oh, and then Steiner was the other one, but go ahead.
Yes, Scott Steiner. Yeah, that had people shook. That had people that even had me
far more than Cornette. Like if you had inducted Scott Steiner first and then brought in Cornette would have looked like a lollipop by comparison.
Fam.
Steiner going in was like, oh shit. And I think the only thing that saved that was the fact that his nephew was already had a rocket strapped to his back when they went in.
I wanted to see Scott Steiner's induction see his induction speech more than I want to see the Undertaker's. Okay, cool. Undertaker's gonna break character. He's gonna be Mark Calloway for the induction. Yeah, great. All right, 100. Scott Steiner, he might do some Steiner math. And the variables he's going to use for Steiner math are going to be better than the actual problem itself.
I don't even know, like on the top of the card from ECW, I don't even know who you have left that's not already in, but that you would put in. You're not going to put in the Sandman.
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Smoking
what?
Cigarettes.
So that's where Steve Austin. That's where half of Steve Austin's gimmick comes from.
Absolutely.
So, and I mean, it's on the cock, pause, so you're gonna see it.
Shane Douglas deserves it.
He deserves it, but it's okay. Let me tell you why. That's unless him and Ric Flair have put their beef in the ground, you have less of a chance of it happening now than you ever had. Because who's Shane Douglas's number one nemesis?
It's definitely Flair.
Right.
Are you talking about ECW?
No, in real life. In real life, it's Ric Flair.
Yeah, definitely Flair.
Ric Flair is A1 day one with who?
Big
Uncle Trips. You know what I'm saying? So, and Shane Douglas didn't really have the best time dealing with the clique. So top 5 nemesis would be Shawn Michaels somewhere, and then by proxy, that also is Uncle Trips.
And Dean probably Douglas was a less than memorable run.
And from his account, part of that has to do with his interaction with the clique.
Yep.
So yeah, Shane is probably in a worse position than he's ever been about getting into the WWE Hall of Fame, because 100% he would be on the merit of being the franchise in the ECW. Stevie Richards, maybe as a gag, the BWO could get in as a group.
I tell you someone, as long as if we can finally stop wrestling, he will probably be the best person to go to the top of that list, in my opinion. Rhino.
I think Rhino could still get in. But yes. Well,
his biggest problem is that he's back active again. He's a champion.
But we're in a situation where WWE is always looking for buzzworthy situations. We do know with them putting Mickie James in the Royal Rumble, they're not opposed to doing anything with Impact talent because they don't see Impact as direct competition in any way.
Absolutely.
So inducting Rhino, I feel like, yeah, that's one of those you could probably get, especially Edge is back in the building. I'm sure he can, tap a couple people on the shoulder. Who else?
Let's see here.
Mike Awesome, probably not.
I mean, your mainstays are already in. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The most famous.
As a matter of fact, Raven would probably be the person that would have to headline it. To be honest with you,
I actually don't see that's the issue. I do not see who the headliner is out of this. I don't.
If you can get Dreamer to clean up his act enough on the surface,
you can't. Not for him to be the headline. The headliner would have to be Heyman. If Heyman's going in, that's your headliner.
But that's only if it goes into Philly. They're like that. I mean, any other place it doesn't happen.
Right. And the
cool thing is Heyman could go in Atlanta. He could go in Minneapolis. He could go in Philadelphia. Nobody else on a ECW class could go in and have that kind of impact besides Heyman.
Right, because we're not going to be in Kentucky anytime soon to do New Jack for Smoky Mountain.
Right. Or even LA, just for nostalgia purposes.
Facts. For the sake of XPW.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here really trying to think of ECW people. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody. You got Mikey Whipwreck. I don't think it's not a no. Tajiri.
Not to headline.
No. I'm just thinking about possible inductees. There is no headliner that isn't Heyman.
Steve Corino would be great.
You're not gonna get that one. You have a better chance of getting him working there as an agent than actually getting him inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Last I heard, wasn't he in NXT?
You see what I'm saying? Jerry Lynn would have been a good induction. He's in AEW right now. We're already stretching it with Taz. Taz makes perfect sense.
Amazing.
Yes.
Scorpio would be fucking amazing.
Yes. You know what? I think I like this idea that we're on to something. I think from now on, every WrestleMania season, we choose our own Hall of Fame inductees based on the city. And now we will start the Broken Pencil Hall of Fame.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we are at the end of year number 4, about to embark on year number 5. Our first show started during WrestleMania season.
Yup.
And so as we go into episode, we'll be beyond episode 200 at that point. But as we start season 5, we can start with the Broken Pencil Hall of Fame for Los Angeles.
Man, we got to do some research because there's a lot of LA wrestling.
It's not as hard as you think. All we need is 5 good ones.
Okay, cool. A 5-piece, I like it. I like
a 5-piece of Los Angeles wrestlers.
I can dig it. I was gonna say, we're gonna start watching Portland and some more shit.
And one of them has to be top tier.
Okay. Now, do they have to be from LA or they had to have wrestled in LA?
No, they can either be from LA or they can have impact in LA.
All right, bet. Okay. All right, I'm with you.
Cause as a tag team, Brian Pillman and Steve Austin could be the openers.
The Hollywood, the Hollywood Blondes. Neither one of them
are from LA, and nowhere close.
Is Sting really from Venice Beach, California? Or is that just some?
I think he may be.
There's your headliner. But he's already in. But there's your headliner.
He was already in. Right. Yep.
Okay.
Good Try Terry could also be a headliner there.
He already in there, and I don't think he would make it in our Hall of Fame.
No, not at all. But
this is our Hall of Fame, not. No,
of course.
What they do in Stanford, that's their own thing. But yeah, our Hall of Fame, this is a little more stringent to get in ours. Pause.
But I got a good one for the opener for this for this year, or for 2023. And so,
make sure we write that down, because we're at that.
Oh no, I won't forget this one, because right now it's the only name that's synonymous with LA that's like even remotely close to being current.
No, I'm just saying the whole idea of having our.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Put a pin in that.
Yeah, straight like that.
All right, man.
I'm pleased. I'm pleased with this.
This turned out to be a lot better than what expected, because the tournament didn't last that long, but you got some extra content to go with this. You feel me? So
we all about them extras. We all about them extras. Shout out to Skywalker. We is about them extras, because by the time you hear this, you should be getting ready for Swavetoberfest 3 to be on all streaming platforms, so you can get your life together.
Prime coming soon.
Not Prime Code phone either.
Don't switch from your Motorola if you still got one. Coming up in about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Soon to be WWE Hall of Famer, D'Lo Brown.
You're messing with the real deal now.
Oh, let me take that T minus 10 seconds back. Let me give you some preface to this. We were at Texoma Pro Wrestling back in September of 20 and 22. Shouts out Tony Snow, shouts out Deuce Freight, and big shouts out to Jen Jack. Shouts out to Shane Taylor as well. Huge shout to Shane Taylor. We Texoma Pro opened up their doors for us to talk to their talent, shake hands. There were no babies to kiss, and D'Lo Brown pulled us to the side and gave us just pure, candid conversation. Excuse the quality of the audio. What you're hearing is that pure, candid conversation in its purest form. There's no editing that was done. The way the conversation ended is the way the conversation ended, for how we could actually let you end it. Let's end it for you.
Yeah, there was other more, shit.
But yeah, where it stops at is all that you were able to hear.
Facts. So there's other stuff in there that's just for us.
And there will be another conversation, Lord willing, with D'Lo Brown in the very near future, and it with in a more controlled environment. This one was just us just getting to know one another, and here it is. Welcome to the Broken Pistol Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast and Radio Show infused with hip hop. I am Wood.
You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
We are literally outside and up in this bitch simultaneously.
Because, bitch.
Texas, number one.
Texas.
No, we in Oklahoma. I'm jumping in. We in Oklahoma right now.
That is the smooth tones of D'Lo Brown, ladies and gentlemen.
Legendary D'Lo Brown.
You're looking at the real deal, man. Woo! You feel what I'm saying?
Talk that shit.
I want a chest protector with the Broken Pencil logo on
it. No. Chest protector is copyright and lyrics, bro. You can't have that. You can't have that.
Damn, son.
Just letting you know.
You know, recycle bars.
No. Copyright and lyrics, dog.
Damn. No sample clearance.
But like, first and foremost, shouts out to Jen Jack. You know what I'm saying? Without her, we don't link up like this, but we appreciate D'Lo for taking the time out for hollering at us. And
Lola, I love you, girl. You know it. I love you, girl.
Gin and juice, that's gang.
Let's go. Gang.
Where we at? First of all, you ended up with some beef with Shane Taylor tonight's show.
Yeah.
It started last night in Texas, and carried over into Oklahoma the next night. Like, what's
beefing across state lines?
What's going on there? Like, what started all this? Why are we here where you should be mentoring this man, and this man is sitting here tormenting you?
But that is the point. I see so much in Shane Taylor. Like, I'm not blind. I can see what the man can do. His physical attributes are amazing. Right. His in-ring skill is secondary to none. But yet, he wants to continue to take shortcuts and or continue beating somebody after you won the match. Like, that's the problem I have with him. He's trying to do too much. And I get he's trying to show the world who Shane Taylor is. He's trying to show everybody what Shane Taylor can do, but sometimes too much is just too much.
Hey, you've had enough.
Well, and I want to show him, bro, you can do this without doing this. Put your skill on point, not your attitude.
I've got a feeling that this is going to end up in a much bigger setting here in the near future, so we need to keep our eyes peeled outside of that. Let's take it back, D-Lo. Mm-hmm. Where did you start?
Crazy thing. I was a backyarder.
Really?
Yes, I was. My friend of mine, good friend of mine, Tom Carter, Northeast wrestler named Reckless Youth. We would, from high school days, would wrestle in our backyard, in my front yard, didn't matter. Went away to college, went to graduate college, went to work, but then I would come home on weekends and my boys were still doing it. They were still out there rolling around.
Where at this time, where was home?
This was New Jersey, Burlington Township, New Jersey.
Okay.
Shout out to the home team.
Shout out. I don't go back much, but I still love y'all. So I went back home, started playing around, and then the cool thing was, like, every 3 or 4 months, we would rent a wrestling ring from Larry Sharp at the Monster Factory. So we rented a ring one time. We had our little pay-per-view. Larry stuck around to see who was renting his ring, and he walked up to me and said, "You're pretty big. You ever think about doing this for real?" I said, "Of course." He said, "You sell 50 tickets to my next show, you're on it." So I sold 4, bought the other 46 myself, and the rest is history.
That is a deep
and the tradition. Rest is history.
We call that business acumen, ladies and
gentlemen. Yes, I took a shot at myself and invested on myself.
So
pay it off, obviously.
And then you end up running into New Jack
down at Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Smoky Mountain.
I went down there, and Jim Cornette gave me an opportunity to wrestle. He hired me and said I did a dark match in the main event of Blue Crabs Brawl in Pikeville, Kentucky. Worked the opening match, dark match against Tracy Smothers, and then I was in the main event as D'Lo Brown, part of the Gangstas, because they needed that third guy to bump and do all the other stuff. So Jack was the talker, Mustafa was the muscle, I was the bumper.
Gotcha.
There it is. So then you move on to the greatest of heights, getting rubs from not only one of the most seminal people in the history of this business in Dwayne Johnson, as in terms of transcending the business and becoming a megastar outside of the industry, but you have multi-sport, multi-time world champion under your wing in Mark Henry, in terms of the strong man, the weightlifting, Olympic background. And of course, I can't forget Kama Mustafa, the Godfather.
Yep.
World's greatest pimp.
Well, hell yeah! But let's not forget, if we just mentioned Kama and Mark and myself and Rocky, but
let's not forget Savio Vega.
We ain't go there, Savio Vega. But also, none of us would not be here if it wasn't for the first black world heavyweight champion, Ron Simmons.
Here it is.
Okay, like, as a child, when I first saw watching wrestling at 9 years old, I looked at TV and I said, that's what I want to do. What I said was, that's what I want to do, because I saw Ron Simmons beat somebody 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring, and I saw someone who looked like me.
Absolutely.
Saw someone who looked like me, who was good at what I loved.
Ron Simmons is forever on our Mount Blackmore, Mount Rushmore.
I'm ready to move Ron Simmons from Mount Blackmore and put him on Mount Rushmore.
Yes, total agreement.
Because
there's an argument for it.
Because my man, two things. Ron Simmons is the dad I always wished I had.
Man.
And if you look in the dictionary next to the word man, there's a picture of Ron Simmons right there. Because that's what a man looks like. We're all men.
Facts.
But if we could go back in time and look like Ron Simmons, wouldn't you do it?
Twice on Sunday.
Wouldn't you do it?
Twice on Sunday.
Quickly.
So when you see the definition of the word man, Ron Simmons.
And he's unfuckwittable, so I heard.
Come on, man.
What's the, like, you guys rolled together. This was the time where people still made road trips.
Yep.
Did more than just play video games. And that's not a shot. It's just what it is.
It is what it is.
What was a road trip like for you guys? Like, where did you sit, and what was that locker like?
I was the driver because I was the young boy in the crew.
Okay,
I was the driver.
All right.
I know my role.
Facts.
Where do you think that term came from? Know your role, by the way. Just want to put it there.
Inside scoop only available.
So, no, Rocky took it and ran with it. Know your role was Ron Simmons' line. D'Lo, know your role. Get up there and drive.
That's hilarious.
D'Lo, drive. Really? Know your role.
That's hilarious.
Wow. Man.
Wow.
Insight. Now, Rocky took it and ran with it. Love it. The fact that is in pop culture and it came from our car, I'll freaking take it. That came from our car, and that is in pop culture.
Facts. That's culture.
It's culture, period.
That's
Yeah.
seasoning.
There are children of my children's age that are saying know your role, not knowing where it came from.
That came from Ron Simmons. Rocky made it famous, but that came from Ron Simmons.
It's a multi-generational term.
So, when I talk about Ron Simmons means to me in my life, I'll call Ron Simmons if I want to paint my bedroom from purple or green. Ron, what you think? Green better, damn. My room gonna be green.
Being able to call Ron Simmons for advice has to be like one of the greatest luxuries that no one really realizes.
Just don't call him on Saturdays.
No. You can call him on Saturdays, just not on Florida State.
Right.
Okay. You call Ron on now. I'm fortunate enough because I'm a Florida State fan. I can text him during the game.
You're on the inside fence.
Okay, so I'm talking next level baseball. I'm on the inside.
There you go.
Now, I've literally been in a text conversation with him as Florida State is losing, and him yelling at me because someone else is texting him in the middle of a Florida State game.
That's dedication. That's me during a Cowboys game.
Come on, man. You need Cowboys.
Look,
I mean, we're Texas.
I flew in, I grew in, not flew in. So.
Okay, right. I'm a insight, right.
Let's hit it.
Y'all got Cowboy love? Right? Cowboy love?
Yeah.
I'm a Bears fan, so I'm hurting more than you.
I truly understand it. I really do.
I was born in Illinois and couldn't be a Bears fan.
I'm a Bears fan. I was born in New Jersey and I'm a Bears fan.
Ooh.
See, but they don't spend segments every sports show talking about your team and a drought.
No, you know why? Because Cowboy fans are delusional.
Most. I'm not one of those.
And tell me if I'm wrong. We gonna break down the sports talk.
Let's do it.
Most Cowboy fans, since the time I have been a child,
okay,
still live off of Aikman, Irvin, and Emmett.
You got to be able to appreciate it, but let it go.
Now, I'm also going to put this forward as being a Bears fan. So let's put this on the pin.
Okay.
Put it over here.
Right.
Okay?
Pin in there.
Because everything I'm about to say about y'all, I'm actually saying about me.
We're a mirror.
Okay? Look.
No better critic.
Look, Bear fans out there, y'all know. Okay?
Okay.
We were crap. Then we found greatness, and we slowly started to build. And we build, right? Right? And then we won championships, okay?
Right.
Then we fell again.
Right.
Then we came back, won championships. Then we fell again.
Right.
Then we won through the dark times. And then came Jimmy Johnson and the crew. And that's when you traded Herschel Walker away, okay?
The biggest lick in NFL history.
The greatest okie doke ever. We're in Oklahoma, and I'm saying okie doke.
I want to find their kids to sell them some oceanfront property.
Look, I got a bridge.
Kansas.
I got a bridge in Brooklyn.
Facts.
It belongs to me. I can sell it for $1.
Got a couple pyramids in Egypt. Let them go cheap.
Yes, and like
Time
it's covered by sand. They don't want it. I get paid to talk for a living, dog.
This is good stuff. This is good stuff.
So now,
this is good stuff.
Now you get Jerry Jones, you get Jimmy Johnson, and now you do the Herschel Walker draft.
Right.
You draft this kid named Aikman, who really ain't Jack his first year.
This is absolute truth.
He ain't Jack his first year, but then you get Emmett and Irvin.
Mm-hmm. And Irvin was the culture changer.
And that's when y'all started loving the Cowboys. Bro, people of color. Think about it.
I do know.
By and large.
I've heard the stories.
Us, people of color, got with the Cowboys, because before the Cowboys were America's team, but that was America's team.
America.
When the Cowboys got Irvin and Emmett, tell me I'm wrong.
And the problems that came with it.
Yeah, everything.
Look, we ain't going there. We stop putting the cart before the horse.
See?
Let's go with this part of history.
And luckily, I'm in pre-adolescence while this is going on. So technically, all I knew was championships.
Yes,
I was in high school and college,
and
man.
you didn't know. And here's pre-social media.
Right.
Y'all didn't know the stuff they were doing in Dallas. Dallas was small at that time. Dallas was a tiny city at that time.
It was not compared to what it is
today. And then they were doing no social media. They were all over the town doing whatever the hell they were doing. We're gonna keep this PG.
Living off the residue of the old money.
Now, once that team left,
right?
Okay, and then you brought in Barry Switzer, who won one.
Was handed one.
He was handed one because of the team that was there.
He was almost handed two. He was one sneeze from getting two of them.
There you go. And now we've gone since, what is it, 80, 90,
96.
96. So now, y'all at 96, it's 2022. You're still trying to recoup that lost glory.
Right.
You lost your quarterback for about 8 weeks.
I'm not the biggest proponent of his participation. I can take him or leave him.
Who you got as backup?
Washing machine.
That's like me having Mitch Trubisky as my quarterback.
Now that's insulting.
No, I ain't got him anymore. I got Justin Fields. I'm good.
Oh yeah, you came.
I'm good.
You came up.
Look, the Bears stepped in shit and pulled back roses. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, Justin Fields is gonna pan out.
He gonna be Justin's gonna be legit.
If I'm gonna play fantasy GM, I'm giving him a contract extension after this season, no matter what.
Here's my thing. I'm gonna tell you right now, as a Bears guy, I know we're gonna be we're gonna be. It was put the term I heard the other day, frisky.
Right.
We're gonna be frisky,
right? Yeah.
So we're gonna compete in every game.
Yeah.
We're gonna beat some teams we shouldn't,
right,
and lose to some teams we should beat,
right.
But we're gonna be frisky because we're gonna be in every game.
That's pretty accurate.
If I'll take frisky this year,
yeah.
Next year we have $120 million under the cap, and if we use this year as a fantasy draft, and we go, okay, Justin's our quarterback, boom. And Mooney's our wide receiver. Boom. And now we have $120 million on the cap to just play.
I get to go shopping.
It is fantasy football.
Facts.
In a good way for the Bears.
Playing with a bankroll. That's a house money move if there ever was one.
So I'll take frisky this year because next year we're gonna kick somebody's ass.
I have no expectations for this team with Cooper Rush as the quarterback.
That's your boy.
And my expectations only increase slightly when it's Dak Prescott because we keep burning through number one receivers.
Yeah. And then you brought in Amari Cooper, who hasn't really done anything because it's not Amari's fault.
Right. That's the part.
I'm saying you brought in a number one receiver,
right,
and he's not done anything, and it's not Amari's fault.
But before you brought that one in, you alienated another one. You sent Dez home, you alienated him.
That's true. Bro, you got me on that. Yeah.
Dez is my favorite Cowboy of all time.
Dez is a baller. I was about to throw the X up. Dez the baller.
But you alienated one wide receiver. You went and traded a first-round pick for another one. You paid him to stay, and for whatever reason, you wouldn't use him in the offense, and then you decided to ship him off because somebody on the coaching staff didn't care for him, or he rubbed some people in the coaching room or in the front office the wrong way. So now you send him off, and you go right back to the same situation you were in 2018 when you ran Dez off. You don't have a true number one. You got a bunch of unnamed, unproven talents trying to raise up to that level, and they just don't have it. So now you're going to end up trading another first-round pick to get a proven wide receiver.
Isn't that the bad rabbit hole there?
Yes.
It is the same hole you keep falling down.
And the reason why no one likes Jerry in this whole shit is because they're steady talking about we want to win, but you're doing dumb shit like this.
You're trading real estate for wide receivers, and you need to be getting more defensive players.
You're trading the future for now, and now isn't working, but you don't realize that if I'm trading the future for now, and the now's not working, eventually now is going to catch up with the future that I'm trading away.
And you're going to be living in
the
past.
The whole rabbit hole gets deeper.
Facts.
And you slide down faster.
Absolute factuals. We are not a one player away from a Super Bowl roster.
Yeah, no,
we're one player away from no wins this season.
You're one player away from the number one draft pick.
Zeke, stay healthy, baby.
And yes,
because that's who it is.
You're one player away from the number one draft pick.
Him or Micah. God.
Well, Micah can stay healthy, but a defense can't stop an offense that just is on the field all the time, because I'm a Bears guy. I had the number one defense in the league, but the offense kept giving those short fields.
That has to be like soul crushing to know you have that kind of defense and no offensive help.
Dude, my entire life as a Bears fan, think about my life as a Bear fan. I've always had a great defense and a running back. That's it.
That's their culture.
Yep.
And that's it. I've had a great defense and a running back.
Facts.
When the all-time leading passer of my franchise is played in the fucking 60s.
Cutler's not top 3.
No.
As much slanging it around as he did, or maybe I'm living off highlights of him. We don't get Bears games quite as often.
You ain't got to worry about it.
Well, they're swimming in the field nowadays. Like, they had a nice outside on last Sunday.
Now, bro, I'm going to tell you the greatest game I ever saw in my life, or the greatest single play I ever saw in my life, was watch Justin Fields take victory formation and then sprint around the edge and slide in the freaking end zone.
I actually feel like that was a culture shifting.
Like y'all, look, y'all Cowboy fans, but tell me how you felt when you saw Justin Fields slide in the rain after a win.
It felt like the Bears broke the chains of mediocrity.
That's a seminal moment, isn't it?
Yes.
Like, that felt like a moment to me in my history as a Bear fan.
Like, when and if he goes into the Hall of Fame, that clip will be shown.
That clip is going to live in infamy. And the fact that one of his O-linemen, I'll tell you after we get off. Never mind. I'll tell you after we get off. Anyway, just remind me of the story when we get off.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's a moment that I believe, if it's this year, next year, or the next 10 years, that moment will live that's tied to Justin Fields forever. That's tied to him forever.
For better or for worse. Yeah,
but it's going to be if the Bears don't do well, they're going to use that clip. The Bears do well, they're going to use that clip.
Either way, they're going to use that clip.
Either way, you're going to be a meme.
Yes.
Either way, you're going to make it the meme status. It feels like a weight lifted off my shoulders to not have to worry about our team's record this year. It's like, okay, we got CeeDee Lamb, great. We got to find somebody to pair with him. Gallup won't show up till week 6 probably.
I think. Look, you guys are realistically, if you want to hope, because Cowboys and Bears play in the same place. We play in the middle of the pack, so we don't get the best draft picks. We're drafting in the top 18 to 32.
And we play each other this year, too.
And we own Cowboy Stadium, by the way.
Hey, let's.
We're not going there. We're not talking about that. You brought that up.
I just made mention at the beginning that there's going to be a contest. I didn't make mention of what
I didn't want to go there. But anyway.
You're teaching about people doing too much, and you're over here choosing mild violence in the sports conversation, well, D-Lo.
It's enough black on black crime. Let's stop this.
Let's just see what the rosters look like that week, and then we can make like a friendly way.
Yes, and we'll talk. We're here.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
But y'all, we both live in that middle of the path.
Mm-hmm.
20 to 32. We all live in that
comfortably, just
right now. Yeah. But when you live in that, that's the muck, the abyss. You don't get a top draft pick
unless they fall.
And if they fall, it's for a reason.
Facts.
Okay. And it's going to bite us in the ass 2 years from now when the reason pops back up again.
So that guy's going to need 2 years to get his shit together,
right?
Develop. But
okay.
Yeah. We right. We on the same page.
So it's going to take that moment where you, good or bad, you fall down into that top 5 to 10 or 1 to 5.
And we just picked ourselves up out of there because Michael Parsons was the number 11 pick.
Right.
So it's like you're already close enough to the top 10 to make something happen.
The problem with you guys you were right at that point, but you were on one player from falling down back again in that top 10. You just got Michael Parsons, I get it. Yeah. But you laid everything on Dak.
Which I am going to say forever was a mistake.
But Jerry Jones laid everything on Dak.
And Steven, let's not absolve him.
The Jones family laid everything on Dak.
Because I have this sneaking suspicion that it's almost like Weekend at Bernie's.
Yes. Jerry ain't here anymore?
Yeah, Steven's propping him up.
Jerry ain't here.
That last car
so it's a Muppet puppet thing?
I feel like it could
Somebody's got his hand up Jerry Jones.
He got his hand up his back.
Jerry's here for the celebrate.
Okay, I got you.
He's only here for the celebration. Now, if we're doing good, he's going to celebrate. He can say just enough to make you want to come back and buy something else. But these feel like Steven moves because my entire life as a Cowboy fan, Jerry Jones likes to spend money for the stars.
Yeah.
The salary cap exists because of Jerry Jones.
Facts. You're speaking facts.
So we know he's not afraid to spend money. So if he's taking a team into a season where you have no real stars, you haven't spent money in free agency, and you're cutting corners on talent and depth roster, that has to mean that somebody else is driving the car. Because that ain't Jerry's whip.
Can you imagine the level of success that you could have just by spending a little extra money and paying that fine for going over the salary cap? Because Jerry would do some dumb shit like that.
Luxury tax me.
I would luxury tax if you have it. Now the problem is the salary cap falls in perpetuity. So when you're over this year, it falls to next year, and it keeps going and going, and that cap gets bigger and bigger and bigger, which puts you in a spot where the Bears have been for the last 6 years, where they couldn't spend money in free agency because they spent so much in the 2011, 12, 13 years. Because we thought, you
were almost there.
We were there. We thought Cutler was the dude. That's when we brought Khalil Mack over.
Mm-hmm.
So
I still have mixed feelings about that trade.
Bro.
You think the Bears won that trade?
No. Because Khalil's gone having 5 sacks in 2 games with the Chargers. And we don't really have that dude on D. We got Quinn, but
we let him walk.
He ain't walked yet, but he's not gonna be there in a year because I don't think we're gonna be there.
That's rough. He's a guy we should have and could have paid, and it would look way different.
Yes, because he was a baller with you guys. You let him go.
That's the part I don't understand. You
let him go to us for nothing.
You came here on a prove it deal. He proved it. Pay him.
And then he went away. He had a bad year for us. And then last year he set the franchise record for sacks for us. He set the franchise record for sacks for us. Think about guys like Richard Dent,
Mike Singletary,
Will Marshall, Mike Singletary,
Fridge
Perry, Trace Armstrong.
Yep.
Okay.
Julius
Urlacher, Peppers. Robert Quinn set our singles record last year.
That's insane.
Last year.
That's insane.
At 19, he set a record.
See, that's a guy I would have paid.
I mean, it does.
Okay, here's the stupid shit we do. You got Randy Gregory, who fell to you, took him,
Yep.
and fell.
Yep.
Had some issues. Then all of a sudden the NFL changed the policy. Now we got a baller on our hands because he can be as high.
He can do whatever. Yep.
He can be as high as Eagle Dandruff. Every time he step on the field, it don't matter. He proves it. It's time to pay him.
Hold on,
and you
wait.
try to lowball
I gotta just say, I'm gonna go back in time. You said as high as Eagle Dandruff. Holy hell! I'm sorry. You said Eagle Dandruff. That is something I'm gonna use from now on.
I graciously hand it over to you.
I have never heard that
From another.
Come on, dog.